Hey guys, I'm about to hop on a call with a client. So by the end of this video, you know exactly how to sell a client that inquired over the phone. Just need a little bit of that push to kind of get them over the line. Now, keep in mind, as clients are reaching out to multiple studios at the same time, they're trying to figure out how they differentiate one studio versus the other. So in this video, you learn exactly the techniques I utilize to kind of get that client from initial, yeah, maybe I'll go with you, but I just need a little bit of convincing to get over the line. That's what you'll learn, how you navigate the conversation directly with the client on the phone, and then ultimately how you close the deal. So what definition of success looks like to me is getting an invoice or a contract in their hand where they can ultimately take that contract and make a deposit to solidify the date. All right, so take a look at the next video.
Can you hear us, Mom?
Yes, I can hear
Perfect.
you.
There we
Yeah,
go. Only took about 7 minutes into the call to figure out how to get everything working.
yeah. It
Love that.
shouldn't be, but yeah. I don't know what went wrong with the microphone.
That's okay. That's okay. We got it now. Are we waiting for anybody else?
No,
No.
Okay. I know we want to hop on just to kind of go through the services. Thanks for reaching out, by the way. We're a photography and video services based firm here in New Jersey. We're about 20, 30 minutes away from Edison. We've been digitally based since about 2004. We cover weddings, engagements, events in the tri-state area, predominantly South Asian culture. So generally speaking, I know you guys have a wedding coming up in October. Is that right? October 18th, if I'm not wrong.
yes.
You guys can give me some context on what's taking place that day?
There will be a ceremony starting at 5.
Okay.
There will be a ceremony, and there's no barat, just a ceremony. And then there will be cocktails and then a reception.
Okay. So ceremony, cocktails, reception, and what's the type of ceremony? What's the culture? Are you
A Hindu.
following Hindu style
Hindu.
culture? Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys will go through a series of fairas. You'll have your Havan Kund. You'll go through the Mangalsutra, the Sindoor, the typical standard Hindu
Yeah.
rituals.
Yeah. There will be
Okay.
a shorter version of the rituals, maybe
Okay.
about 45 minutes to 1 hour.
Okay. Yep.
That's fine.
Yep. After the reception, what's taking place there? I'm assuming it's going to be like a standard like cocktail hour. Then you have your grand entrance. Maybe you guys can maybe walk me through that a little bit.
Yeah, so as of now, we think so. The
So let me interrupt here. Samir, we haven't put much thought into any of these like finer details.
Okay.
The idea of a grand ceremony itself has never even crossed our minds. I'd say we generally don't have a grand vision, and
Okay.
I think a lot of times maybe other of my kinfolk have grand ideas. I'm like the exact
You,
opposite.
you're just like, just tell me where to show up, what time to be there, and that's pretty much it. It sounds like.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay.
And so we, like my mom said, there's how she stated that a sequence of events is about as detailed as we've.
Okay. That's fair. Where's
Not sure.
where's it taking place?
Sorry, go ahead, sir.
No, I was gonna say, where's the event taking place? You said Royal Shabri Palace. Is that Royal Albert's?
Yeah, that's Royal Albert, the new construction.
Got it. Got it. Okay. I mean, the way we operate is pretty simple with regards to your wedding. We do offer photo video services both, and what that would entail is a photographer coming out prior to the start time of the ceremony. So that would include photo sessions. If you want to do a prep session, you could do that in advance. We capture details, capture dress shots, just more like the nuances to tell the story. Those prep sessions are going to be for both the bride and the groom. So normally in what some couples like to do, which you don't have to do this, there are normally rituals that take place in the hotel room that include like putting on the dupatta on the bride, or maybe the fera, I'm sorry, the sarabandi for the groom, if that's something that you guys follow. If you do that, then that would be covered. Otherwise, you could do just standard prep sessions where you have the groom get dressed, the bride get dressed, you do portraits, and then you do a photo shoot together before we start the ceremony. That's typically the format. And then that would get you, obviously, we would pose you guys. We would go through all the different family photo sessions, bridal party as well. So if you have groomsmen, bridesmaids, immediate family members, we would have a session for photos prior to the ceremony starting. And then we would go into the ceremony itself. So that ceremony itself would cover obviously just everything that you just explained to me, and then go right into our reception. Now, if you do an outfit change between the ceremony and the reception, then we would set up a photo shoot prior to that reception as well. If not, you can always do that after your cake cutting, for example, during the dance party to take some pictures outside if you like.
So I think the prep and all that, I don't think it's going to be. Let me just put it this way: it's going to be a simple wedding. It's not going
Okay.
to be the grand scale kind of a
Okay.
wedding. So we don't need anything unless Mihir, you have a choice to say something. But from my perspective, getting ready and all, I don't think we need. Do you need that, Mihir? Would you like that?
Yeah, no, not at all. Simple as we can make it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, budget
Pretty-
friendly. We're we're, we're simple people.
Okay. Perfectly fine. I'm just giving you like generally the timeline that other couples do. You don't obviously you don't need to follow that. That's makes it easier if anything.
No,
Yes.
totally.
Because we have a small
Take
wedding,
that
not
back.
a, yeah, we have a very small wedding, not too many people. It's all going to be not
Okay.
barely 100 people or so.
Perfect. All right, so I'll fast forward a little bit then, and then we can kind of go right into everything that's included. We do offer a pretty simple wedding package. I think, Rennie, we had spoken about it over a text message, but I'll walk you guys through that if you want to kind of get into it. Our budget packages are really just for customers like yourselves that just want to keep it very simple. We would cover the photographer, the videographer, so that's both photo video services as part of that. It says up to 8 consecutive hours. It's really up to you if you utilize all that. Obviously, like if your ceremony starting at 5 o'clock, we would be there an hour or two early just to cover some of the decoration shots and maybe some portraits right before, just so you have those for keepsake. Because if we don't do that early on in the day, before everything starts, you're probably not going to have a chance to do it later. So this would give you the photo session of you guys together, the family photos. We would create a highlight film for you as well. So from the wedding day and the reception, we would create a 5 to 10 minute long film. And we would also give you that full length version film. So that's the 1 to 2 hours full length ceremony, speeches, performances, all the main components of your itinerary are included there. And then also all the edited pictures. So that's what the wedding image collection is. So basically, if we shoot 2,000, 3,000 pictures, roughly 50% of those we would cull down. So we remove any like duplicate shots or out of focus shots, clean everything up, and then edit 50% of those. But if you guys ever wanted more pictures edited, we would cover that as part of the service as well. So that's that. Everything gets delivered online to you in a private Google Drive link. So we share a folder with you. You can download it. If you want a hard drive, you can mail it to us. We'll load everything for you. Pictures take about 7 to 14 days on average to deliver. Video takes a little bit longer, roughly 6 to 8 weeks in length. That is dependent upon if you have any specific customization requests. If not, we'll just kind of use our discretion to create the film. We do ask for song selections in advance of that. Just particular music you'd like, we would put that in there. If not, then we would just kind of make our discretion and send that video to you once we have that edited.
And do we get to okay, put this shot in or this little piece into that video summary, or we don't like this, put this instead, that kind of a thing? Do we
Yeah,
put it?
if you have specific customization requests, we can take that up front because that's probably better we do that before we edit everything and then go back and have to rechange everything. So it just makes it a little bit easier. But if you have very specific things you'd like or expectations, we would ask for that in advance.
Okay.
Yep. But for the most part, it's going to be your ceremony, speeches, performances, like the way that things are taking place in your itinerary. We would just shoot that and
Okay.
clean everything up and hand it over to you in an edited file.
Samir, if we have you for 8 hours, the venue itself might not be the most decorative, special venue you've been
Yeah.
to. So within those 8 hours, could we like have you meet us at a different location and then go over? Not too far. Like my mom's house is in Marlboro, New Jersey,
Yep.
and somewhere in between that's a park or something cool where you can capture.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we would do we would plan all that out in advance, Mahir, so that way we know exactly where you want to have those photos taken. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, Royal Alberts is great. Don't get me wrong, but there are limited number of places to take pictures there, especially as they've
Right.
kind of expanded their real estate to other venues to kind of support more halls. But yeah, it's very difficult to get good pictures there unless you like parking
Agreed.
lots in your background.
Or the warehouse district
Yeah.
that we're in.
I mean, it's very vintage, but if you're into that kind of thing.
I like that. Yeah. All the kids' sneakers scuffs across the wall. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah. So we would plan that out and then, meet you at the location that you call us. Yep.
So
Very cool.
maybe a little bit at home, then maybe you can come to Marlborough, because at the wedding itself, it's not going to be too many people doing any entertainment or not too many speeches. It's going to be very simple.
Okay.
So maybe you can come to the house and then to the park where Mihir suggesting, and then go on to the wedding.
So it depends on, I mean, I would typically recommend just one location, especially on the day of the wedding. It's going to get a little chaotic to try to move
Okay.
people from the house to the
Okay.
park, then to the venue.
Okay, so that's fine.
So yeah,
Park
say
is good. A
park
park
might be
is good.
better. Yeah. So that way we can kind of make sure that we
Yeah, and we can take our own pictures at home. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Because there's like tear down, we did like set up and kind of reconfigure. So it'll save some time. But yeah, I mean, any specific questions you guys had? Everything is fully online. Our portfolio's there. Pictures are there. For the most part, yeah. Sorry, God.
No, I was just going to say, I think I'm happy with what I heard, and I have a little bit of better understanding of everything that's included. My only, in terms of next steps, do you send a proposal? What comes next?
Yeah. What comes next is really just everything we talked about would come on an invoice that would kind of detail out everything that's included, which, no surprise, is going to be your photo services, video services, edited pictures, the highlight film, the full version film, and then that the photo sessions are included as part of that. So yeah, what we would do is we would send that over to you by email. You would make a 25% deposit to hold the date. And then as we get closer, then we would go through timeline calls just to make sure we're on the same page on where the photo shoot locations would be. And then if there's any other itinerary details that we need to discuss, we would do that too.
Okay.
And then that's really it. I mean, balance would be due on the day of the wedding. You could do that online. Pretty straightforward from there.
All right. I understand it. Mom, do you have any other questions?
No, do you want to, is there any specific kind of a style that you use in photography, or just standard wedding style?
So, I mean, it depends on how creative you want to get. So we offer very like simple packages, which is kind of what it sounded like you guys wanted, more documentary style. The photographer that's shooting is really just simplistic in terms of here's some good pictures. You could take it up the next level if you wanted to. Again, it's not for everybody, but the idea would be we have cinematographers who use multiple camera angles. They use drones, audio techniques. The editing process is much more robust, where we're telling more creative storylines. So that's a little more like quote unquote Bollywood or Hollywood, where we're editing really aggressively to tell a storyline and keep it very emotional. And then the photos themselves. So I handle most of our weddings for the most part, not more along like the premium wedding style. So I would pose bridal parties, family photos. If you have large groups of people, generally those photo shoots are part of that, but otherwise it's very photojournalistic, much more candid in nature, where it's try to keep it very kind of true to life colors. Like we're not going to do any kind of fancy techniques. It's really just more trying to capture things as they happen, more
Yeah,
naturally in
that's-
nature, and then kind of feel out the couple to see what they need in terms of what makes them feel the most comfortable behind the camera. So
Okay.
that's really the style.
Okay. And the other last thing is, can you also give me a package of just video and just photography?
It would just be half. So just photography would be
Okay.
900, or video would be 900.
I see. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's good to know, just in
Yep.
case, because I have to look at my budget and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Absolutely. We actually are giving you a discount by booking both together. So I'd actually, would recommend if you wanted to do just photo or just video, then definitely let us know that, so that way we can plan the right photographers for your wedding. For us, it's just more about making sure the right teams are working together. You want the right photographer to work with the right videographer. So it's just more from a planning point of view. We can just kind of determine who to send on that day.
Okay. Depending on whether we choose any of the three options. Okay.
Correct. Yep. Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
That's all I have.
Okay. Great. Yeah. So let me know. Have you guys like to move forward? And then what I can do is I can send everything via email. It's pretty straightforward.
Mihir, you
from
want
there.
sure. Mihir, you want to give your email address or my email address for the
I think you Mom.
okay. Can you send your statement to
I think I have it from before.
oh
Right?
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can send that over there if you wanted to move forward, I'm assuming. And then if there's any questions that come up, we'll obviously, this is not the last time we speak, but as we get a little bit closer, roughly in August, September, we would just hop on the phone and go through timeline plans. I can also send you a guide around how to kind of stage the order of events for a timeline if that's a helpful resource to you guys. But
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
okay, I'll send
So how do we use the timeline, right? What comes first and then next and all that? Yeah, that would be
exactly. Yep, I'll send that over to you guys. And then any other questions you have, you're more than welcome to reach out to us in the meantime.
okay.
Okay.
I'm done. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Great speaking to you guys.
Yeah, good
Great.
talking to you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yep. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.
All right, guys. So I hope that made a lot of sense. The packages that we're advertising on our website, we're really just taking that client step by step through it, so that way they have a full understanding of what's included. We help clarify any open questions, and it's really for them to get to know you more than anything else. It's not necessarily just about, hey, here's how much we charge and here's what we offer. It's really a way to create a connection. And as people are reaching out to multiple studios, they just want someone that they feel like they can do business with. Not necessarily, just, hey, let me just pick any studio out there. They want to feel there's a little bit of a connection there. So that's where we take the time to talk every client through it. I used to kind of fall into this trap previously of, let me just put my prices out there, and then people would just kind of self-service and they would book themselves. Well, people don't necessarily operate that way. If you're spending that kind of money, you're not going to just kind of like go ahead and plunk it down on a booking. I had that happen a couple of times, but I would say 9 times out of 10, more conversions happen over the phone when you personally discuss with the client and handhold them through the process, as opposed to expecting that they're just going to go follow everything on your website and kind of book on their own. That's a mistake that I learned early on. And so for you, the most effective strategy would be hopping on the phone. A client inquires, you talk them through it. You may not even discuss pricing yet. You first want to understand what they're all about, and then based on that, you can kind of make a decision in your head on what's the ideal package or quote for this customer based on the services that they need. And from there, it's really just magic. All right. Hopefully that helped, guys. I'll see you in the next video.